It's enough rising. It's enough rising.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Green live stream. Happy Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. I'm your host, Edie Arndell, and I'm here with Mr. Scott Free, my awesome co-host. How you doing, Scott?
Doing good, doing good. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
So we are here with Jacob Sedabres. Welcome.
Thank you.
He is new member, I think, to the Green Party, but not new to the Green Party. He's an artist, a musician, and he's volunteered for organizations and
he is in the process of starting the Madison County
and that
Green Party. Yes. How is that going, Jacob?
Welcome.
Well, thank you guys for having me on here. I love watching this show. I've been a fan and a viewer for a while now, but it's great to be on here. Answering your question, Scott, how that's going, it's going. There's definitely a lot of interest in the Green Party. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who are going to, they're interested in the Green Party. They want to lean in. They want to learn more. Some are even saying they're going to vote Green Party. But finding people who are the level of dedication to be involved as an activist and forming a chapter and the dedication that goes into that, I'm struggling to find people that are really at that level of dedication. So it's great to find people that are willing to vote Green, that are involved, want to be involved with the Green Party or curious about the Green Party even. But, I am in the process of trying to find people to continue to build a good organization, a good foundation of people to get this kind of thing going and to be sustainable. So I think.
Yeah, it was funny. I as we were coming on, I just realized there's somebody that I'm going to reach out to you because they post quite a bit on the Uhuru movement in St. Louis, but they live in Illinois, so I bet they live close to you. So I will reach out to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but no, I mean, chapters are really, really important because it just gives folks a way to meet in person. Because, we do a lot of things on the Illinois Green Party on Zoom. We do. People are on Zoom all day and night, but it's nice. It's just it's different to be in person. It's so much different.
Mm-hmm. And so I view that's how I kind of view this chapter as being a hub, obviously, to bring people into the Illinois Green Party, make us aware of what's going on. And also getting us involved in paying attention to what's going on in national politics as well. So just across the board, trying to get more engagement with the Green Party, more awareness about the Green Party. There's a lot of people out there who I think agree with what the Green Party stands for when they find out what the Green Party stands for. But for whatever reason, there's people out there who might be confused about what the Green Party stands for or don't know. And so I think, part of forming this chapter is just to make it aware of we are here. We don't disappear and then show up every 4 years. We're out there engaged and doing things on a daily basis. And since I've been a dues paying member and leaning into the Green Party at the Illinois state level, I do see there's a lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on. I'm very happy with the candidates that we're fielding. And I just want to be a part of helping, right? Like Edie here running for lieutenant governor. So I think there's a lot of good things happening in the Green Party, and I think just having a chapter is a good way to get signatures, which we have this absurd signature requirements that we have with our ballot access here in the state of Illinois. But trying to participate in helping get those signatures, help getting voters, and just try to continue to grow the party from down here in the southern part of the state. I think it's really important. So
can you kind of describe what area you're in for folks that might be watching that might want to join you?
Yeah. So for everybody back home, I'm recording from Granite City right now. I'm from Madison County, Illinois. So shout out to everybody in Granite City. But also shout out to everybody in Alton, everybody in Edwardsville. I believe Highland is even a part of Madison County. There's a lot of pretty good population here in Madison County. We are in a congressional district with Champaign, Urbana, and Springfield, Illinois. So they've gerrymandered it. We're kind of a bluer part of the southern part of the state. But in Madison County, we're kind of purple in that we've gone we've been kind of voting red the past few elections. So there's this unhappiness with the blues, with the Democratic Party in this area, and I think there's some people that just can't stomach voting for the Republican Party. So I really feel like there's a great opportunity to build a good political coalition of people, democratic socialists, communists, anarchists, people out there that have similar views and probably have more in common with each other than they do with either of the duopoly parties. And I think that we need to realize that it's through those coalitions and that building on the left that we can actually build something that can make hopefully meaningful change politically.
Wanted to give a shout out to Kalia. She's here.
Kalia.
Hey, Kalia. And this might be somebody you know.
Oh,
Becky
Granite
Sedabres.
City. There we go.
All right, hey. Represent.
All right.
Yeah. But
yeah, I was gonna say in disaffected voters that don't see themselves being represented, that have completely checked out of the system. Those people are just waiting for somebody to come along, and I feel like this is our moment because people are mad at the Dems. I don't know what my
role is going to be.
People are mad at the Republicans.
Right, I agree. I don't know what my role is going to be. I don't know if my role is going to be eventually running for office, or if my role will be helping, build and groom younger candidates. Because I really do see the future of the Green Party and the future of any real coalition movement as being through the youth, being through young voters. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why young voters aren't engaged and don't vote is because they don't see anything to vote for. They don't see anything within the Democrats or Republicans that's worth voting for. And I think the Green Party is exactly what young people want. When you look at polls, when you talk to young people, it's like the Green Party is exactly what you want. So you can be in a party that you don't have to fight against corporate overlords and APAC funding to try to, to be able to get your voice heard.
Right.
You can run in a party that can actively engage in the politics that you want to see. And, I just really think the future is with young voters. I would like to see a lot of young voters get involved, run for office. And it's kind of sad to see a lot of young voters getting involved and running as Democrats, hoping to change the Democrats from within. It's not going to happen. It hasn't happened in my lifetime. I don't see it happening in the future.
One encouraging
I would
thing.
like to tell.
Okay. Go ahead.
Right. I would like to say, we'll do it and you'll learn like I did. But at some point we have to break that cycle, right? At what point do we say we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result? How I got involved with the Green Party was just my being disenfranchised with the Democratic Party. I started off as a young Democrat. Mm-hmm. I was very opposed to the Iraq War. I was, looking at the Bush tax cuts, and I was looking at things going on. I'm like, I don't agree with any of this. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe in. Mm-hmm. So, Barack Obama came along, hope and change, a lot of things that I wanted to see out of a politician. And so I, was really big on Obama in 2008, but between 2008 and 2012, I kind of saw he was no different than all the other politicians that came before him. He kept the Bush tax cuts, same rampant militarism, a lot of the same things that I was disgruntled with. Nothing really changed, and the love people had for him. I'm not going to say he was a horrible president. He was the best president of my life for what low bar that is. I mean, all things considered, but. That's not saying too much, but he has been the best president of my life. But people just really put him on this pedestal and were really blind to the kind of some of the bad things he did. And that's what was eye-opening for me. And then that was followed up with in 2016 being a Bernie Sanders supporter, the longest, standing independent senator in our Congress, running for president and having it rigged against him openly. And that whole process ripped my heart out as a Bernie-crat, as a supporter of the Bernie Sanders movement, who volunteered, who was very involved politically with that movement, and just saw, the Democratic Party do what they do. They definitely, they sheepdogged a whole lot of people back under their big corrupt tent, and they did nothing. They killed that movement. And, Bernie Sanders was offered the Green Party ticket by Jill Stein. She was willing to step aside and allow him to be a real advocate for change. And I think if he would have, I think there's a chance not only could he have actually won the election.
I think so,
because I think enough people would have piled onto that. I think it's a chance. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that it was a blowout or anything like that. It would have been really close, but I think there's a chance he could have won. And even if he wouldn't have won, I think it would have been a revolutionary act. I think it would have changed American politics forever in a good way. And he missed that opportunity, and it broke my heart. But it also really made me aware of Jill Stein and who she was, made me lean into the Green Party and started realizing, well, if I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter, there's a reason why she was offering the ticket, because everything that Bernie Sanders stood for, everything I liked that Bernie Sanders stood for was in the Green Party, was with Jill Stein, was on that Green Party platform. And what do we got? What do we get in the Democratic Party as an alternative? It was, you got Tim Kaine as your vice president, who was not a progressive. You had a snubbing of the left and trying to reach across to the moderate right voters to try to get them under your big tent. You didn't worry about the left. You knew that they were going to show up for you and vote anyway. And exit polls shows that the Bernie-crats, by and large, did show up and vote for Clinton anyway. A lot of them did. But I know a lot of people personally that didn't vote, have not voted since that election, or voted in spite against the Democratic Party in that election. I know people that did that. And that doesn't make the Green Party a protest vote. It just means that some people were just so disenfranchised, so disillusioned with the system. They voted however they voted. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, neither party has made any meaningful change since 2016. 2020 was no different. And then in 2024, it was no different. I voted Green for all those elections and have been a Green voter. I've paid attention to the Green politics this whole time. And it was in 2024 that I really realized, I'm getting at the age where I want to be more involved, more active. I want to be more of a person of action and less of rhetoric. Because I've studied a lot of these things, and I do, I think I'm really aware of what's going on. I follow current events and news. I stay informed on things, I try to be as objective as possible. So I really am paying attention to all these things, but it takes a lot to understand what's going on with all of this, to really to get down to the bottom of it, to see through the propaganda and the lies, and to see what goes into controlling the way that we see everything. It's just a lot. It's a full-time job almost to keep up with all this stuff, to keep up with what's going on, and people don't have the time to really do that. And but I'm becoming more and more aware of the fact that we need to be involved politically. We have to get more involved at the local level, state level, federal level, all the way up. It's important. I used to teach civics. This is something that, to be a part of this society, to be a member of this society, we have to be informed. We have to be informed democratic citizens.
Right.
And there's a lot of myths out there that the Green Party can't win. We shouldn't be on the ballot. We're splitting a vote. We have a two-party system. There's so much misinformation out there that I just sometimes want to shake people. But you guys need to go relearn some civics. There's a whole democratic process out there that we can be utilizing. We're trying to utilize. It's peaceful. We're not trying to do anything, we're not trying to have a violent revolution. We're trying to have a peaceful revolution. But I just see the Green Party as that engine for revolutionary change, peaceful democratic change. It has all the ideas that we want, the people want, that if we had the opportunity, people voted for us and invested the power in the Green Party, I think we would see real change. I think the change that people want to see can be activated through the Green Party. And honestly, the only thing that people need to do is run for office in the Green Party and vote for the Green Party. It's that simple. I mean, if you don't have to spend hours of every week being dedicated and being an organizer. People like you two that do the shows you guys do and all the work that you guys do for the Green Party, you guys are out there doing that work. And there's people out there that are going to make this Green Party move. The infrastructure is there. The support systems are there.
Yep.
But we do need democratic voters. We need people to be informed. We need people to be engaged and to get involved in your local Green Party. If there's not a local Green Party, think about maybe forming a local Green Party and get involved at the state level. So I feel like I'm kind of rambling here, but I just really feel like this is all really important, and that that's why I'm here talking with everybody, is because, I really do feel like it's important for us to understand that politics is not about talking, it's about doing.
Yeah.
And we are at a lot of the shows, a lot of guests you guys have had on here talk about coalition building, community gardens, volunteering work. Just a lot of the great guests you guys have come on talk about all kinds of incredible stuff.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring to see all that. It makes me want to think we can, at this level here in Madison County, in this area down here, we can organize, we can be the change that we want to see without corporate overlords. So
yeah. I totally agree with everything that you said. I just think that like you said, the coolest thing about doing this live stream is just meeting all the incredible people around the country, and just to know that there are folks out there that really believe and are going to do the work. And it's true. I mean, we have to work on the propaganda. The concept of protest vote is propaganda, because that's putting a characteristic on your vote. That no, votes are just numbers. They don't have characteristics. The propaganda is so that you're thinking, so it doesn't really count. Oh no, it counts. It's not a protest. It's a number in there, and you get enough of those numbers and you win. So yeah.
And nobody owns your vote.
Right.
No party owns your vote. It has to be earned. I feel like the Republicans and the Democrats haven't earned a vote in decades, personally.
Right.
That lesser evil voting still gets you evil, and trying to make the party represent you, it's never going to happen. That they're corporate donors, they're APAC funded, they work for the billionaire class. They're never going to work for the working class.
I see it as like getting in a relationship.
Green Party, we're already on board, so you don't have to convince us. We're there
right
already.
And a big part
I
of
see it as getting in a relationship with somebody and liking somebody for, like, you get in a relationship with somebody, that they're toxic and abusive, but you're like, I can change them. Like, that's what I hear these young progressive people saying, they're going to change the Democratic Party. They're not going to. I commend them for their spirit, but I just think that energy would be so much better placed within the Green Party, that doesn't have to fight internally to even have a platform, that doesn't get watered down in committee and everything else, and doesn't have corporate overlords going to make sure that it doesn't really happen at a big effective level. I just think young people need to realize that there's a way to the Green Party to do that. And and
your energy will be better spent here. You won't be beating your head against the wall and not getting anywhere for years. I mean, we've been there. Take our word for it. We tried hard. For Bernie, I was out there constantly. Right. I talked about it nonstop. I knocked doors. Even despite working 50 plus hours a week, I tried my best. And at the end of the day, he just wasn't going to fight the way we needed to fight to change the system. Right. I wanted to give a shout out to Mark Alborno on Twitter and X, and Lifeline for Mark. Palestine. So yes. All right, thanks for being here. Yeah. So I was just going to say that the other thing that we're pushing, I mean, Scott and I are pushing, is, just Blackout Friday. Just stop giving them your money. We need it here. If you want to donate somewhere, but do your shopping local, build your community, do mutual aid, like keep the money in your neighborhood, support your neighbors, support, the jobs in the town where you live. Yeah. Stop giving it to Amazon and Walmart and Target. And, that just goes to all the stuff that we're fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you find out the corporations behind all of these issues, like Palestine, you see all of the corporations involved. So absolutely, there's some real evil behind those names, those brand names that people love. I wanted to say one other thing that was really encouraging. You were talking about young voters and two TikTok celebrities have really seemed to come on board for the Green Party. Your favorite guy, he's really big, and he just did a video on, oh, you think Jill Stein just disappears and shows up every 4 years? So that's really positive. And Rathbone is the other one. Both of them, both your favorite guy and Rathbone, have been supporting Butch Ware's campaign for governor in California. So I think people are starting to really get it. I think there is a process that complaints, all valid, but now trying to push to a solution. And certainly Sabby Sabs and Breonna Joy Gray have been supporting the Green Party as a solution. So there is definitely hope out there.
I agree. I think what's disheartening is hearing some young candidates who call themselves progressives running as young Democrats, and you say, well, why are you running as a Democrat? Why didn't you run as an independent? Why didn't you run as a Green? And the answer I've gotten almost every single time is, well, that's the only way I can win. And I wanted to bring that up to compare it to these same people will say, but I'm different. I don't take the money. I'm not like those other corporate Dems. You just acknowledge that you can't run in this system unless you have that D in front of your name. There's a reason for that.
Right.
It's a chain that's around your neck. It gets kept there on purpose.
Yep.
And so I just want to make that connection. It's like, you can say on one side, I can only win if I run as a Democrat, but at the same time, I'm not like them though. I don't benefit from being a Democrat. Well, then why do you have that in front of your name? Why do you associate with that party?
Right.
And the genocide party, right? Like the things that I don't support all those things. I just vote for that party, and that's my party. Well, then why is that your party?
Right.
Why would you not vote for the things that align with your values and what you support?
Right.
It's disheartening because these are young people that are progressive who share, they share the views. When I tell people the Green Party is a whole party of Zoran Mamdani's, we're a whole party of Bernie Sanders. We're a whole party of the things that those people stand for. To some extent, you know what I'm saying? For as far as what it comes to
supposedly stand for. I would definitely say they do
supposedly
not
stand for
them. Right, because when it comes down to it, we're watching Mamdani sell out day by day. I mean, just like that. Hakeem endorsing Hakeem Jeffries, the complete opposite of what they say they're fighting for. He endorsed. So no, and again, Bernie, he says really great stuff, but if he's not willing to do the work to get it there, then he's fake. He's fake.
And I also get what you're saying. Policy wise, this is where it is. Everything that you liked about them is here at the Green Party.
Right.
And we don't take that dirty money from AIPAC and corporate donors and super PACs. So we are not beholden to those people. Right. And it's the reason that Democrats will never represent you. Right. And Republicans have just
they don't have to
even trying. So yeah,
you're right. But the Democrats have learned they don't have to. That they can trot out rhetoric or talk a good talking point or two, and he's the guy. He's the real one. He's actually believes in what I believe in. I'm not saying that they're all the progressives and the Democrats are fake. But I think a lot of them are misguided, and I think they're lost in the Democratic Party. I think if you're a real progressive and you really want meaningful change politically, it doesn't make sense to be involved with either duopoly party. And you need to be building coalitions with people that actually share your values, share your views, and actually want the same things you want. Because going to work, for the billionaire class and then saying, but I'm not one of them and I don't share their views, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't align. And I just wish people could understand that a little bit more.
At the end of the day, you will align or they will destroy you. That's it.
Right.
You will either cave in, sell out, or they will get rid of you. That's the only two choices.
They'll fund you in the primary. They'll fund your primary opposition. Yeah.
And there's a long history of all the major gains that we've gotten is because we've been outside of the two-party system. And we have had strikes. I just recently learned that it was in conjunction with strikes. So I think the time is ripe right now because I have heard about a general strike and about blackouts from I'm going to say at least 5 different spaces.
Yeah.
different organizations trying to organize it. The entire country of Italy is going to go on strike.
Yep. Right.
So, I mean, this is our moment. All the gains that we've gotten, like it used to be an 8-hour workday, ending child labor, the women's right to vote,
5 days a week.
Yeah, just you name it, you know. It's because there was pressure from the outside and people were willing to go on strike for it. You know, civil rights.
Right. And the communist and socialist parties of the 20s and 30s. So the political parties were putting on pressure too, without a doubt. Eugene Debs put a lot of pressure on. And he used to be a Democrat. He was a Democrat. So, and he ran from jail. So ran for president. So yeah, it's weird how the parallels, how that, you know, they're attacking free speech now. You get arrested. That happened in World War One. Eugene Debs was arrested for making a speech against World War One. So yeah, it's all coming back.
Not in a good way.
There's a lot. Right. Well, that's why we study history, because you know you learn about it's not all hunky dory. It's, you know, it's bad. You know, you learn history because the bad things happen. You're trying not to repeat them. You're trying to learn from them. You do try to draw parallels. I often compare the Green Party today to the abolitionists around the Civil War period. The way that people talk about us politically, it's the same as how they would refer to abolitionists back in the day. You know, oh, those abolitionists, they're too radical. They can't win an election. Nobody really wants to vote. Nobody wants that. It wasn't until the abolitionists formed coalition with others and formed the Republican Party that, as a third party, they were able to, you know, push their agenda politically. But they were around politically for a long time. They just couldn't win primaries. They couldn't win in their parties. They didn't have a voice because they were seen as too extreme. They had too forward thinking of ideas. We can't just free everybody. What are you talking about? That's crazy. So I mean, you know, so I just think the way we look back at abolitionists today, and we go, they were clearly right. They were, you know, they were the good guys in history. I think people will look at us, you know, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, at this political time, and say the Greens are that equivalent. We are the good guys. We're the ones where it makes sense what we're saying. I've never met a Democrat or Republican that can refute anything that I'm saying about the system, about the duopoly, about the finance, the campaign finance, the way everything is rigged and the way it's set up and gerrymandered and the rules and the way it's all, you know, ballot access is restricted. Like no one, I've never met, they can't argue and refute it. They just, well, you can't win. It's easier for them to say that because you have a whole monolithic system working against us to keep us from winning. So, you know, it's just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating being a Green and having all of these constant things you have to, like, hurdles you have to overcome. And you're held, I think a lot of time green candidates are held to standards that if we held any Democrat or Republican candidate to half of that standard, they would still be exemplary candidates, you know. But it's like, you know, they want to put a Green candidate under the microscope and look at everything that they do. But a Democratic candidate, well, yeah, okay, he took a lot of AIPAC money, and oh, you know, but it's okay. He's still progressive. It's not a big deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever it is, like. They're willing to turn a blind eye to a lot more. They don't hold, it doesn't seem like they hold anyone to as nearly a high of standard as they do a Green Party candidate. And I get it. You're challenging the whole system. You're looking from the outside in. They want to see somebody that's, you know, strong, charismatic, and a good leader. But you know, I think when you study the Black Panthers, you study a lot of history. You know, you do learn that you can't have just a single leader. You can't have a head of the snake. They can chop the head off. If you're going to be a part of a political revolution, everybody has to identify as being a political revolutionary. Yeah, every last person has to be willing to be involved and has to be willing to step up and play their part politically. That's not easy, you know, because we're talking, as we've been saying, it's not easy to do that. But that's if we're going to have a political revolution in the state of Illinois, we all have to realize that we have to be revolutionaries. You can't be one person that's going to step up and save you. There's not going to be one person that's going to be the perfect candidate that's going to put the Green Party on the map. That's not going to happen. Right. It's going to be a people-powered movement for the people, by the people, and that's what we need to do, and that's what, you know, I'm hoping to do with the Madison County Illinois Green Party chapter. I'm hoping that when we get this started, we can start doing some of that legwork and getting involved in building this party and building this coalition of the left.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think I like being a Green. I think that I don't know. There's just I'm a musician, also Jacob, and I the most influential musical genre in my younger days was punk. And without a doubt, I feel that same kind of thing. It's like, yep, I'm going to go against the system. All these people are going to attack me. I don't give a F. I am ready. Right. Because the reality is all you got to do is present the facts and then watch them stumble. Right. Because the realities are harsh as can be. I mean, I do this all the time with Democrats. It's like, so why would you be associated with mass murder? Why? What other would you join a company that did mass murder? Why would you associate? And that's obviously for Republicans too. I mean,
Right.
Biden genocide and then Trump did continue the genocide. So, I mean, you know, the reality is that's a harsh ass place, that Democratic Party. It's a brutal, some sick, brutal people involved in that thing. And why would you want to be associated with that? When it's true that all we need are people to vote and we're in. There is no, all we need is for people to be active. They can throw all the money in the world at us. But if somebody's dedicated, I mean, Kamala had $1 billion campaign and lost. It isn't simply about money. It isn't, even though, and it's only up to the people themselves to just say, yeah, I saw 100 commercials and that person on TV. I'm going to vote for this other person. Real easy, folks.
And I think when you look at what happened in New York, put that under a microscope, Zohran Mamdani, how did he have so much success? I think it was because he motivated young voters. He got young people involved and got them activated in his party and his movement. Whether or not how he shapes out, I don't know, but I know there's a lot of excitement about him, and I know that excitement came from a lot of young people, a lot of young voters, and I think he was able to tap into that. I think that's something worth studying, and something I'm really looking at is like, how is he able to tap into those young voters? How is he able to get them involved? How is he able to connect with them in the way that he was? And I think that's, I think anybody that can do that has real potential to activate a whole bunch of voters that aren't voting right now. They aren't showing up to vote. It's not because they don't want to vote. It's because they don't feel that their vote matters. And I just, we need to convince them that their vote does matter, that, we do have democracy. It's important and we need to vote and we need to be involved.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that it was having enough volunteers to get his message out. He had a good team behind him to do social media. He had a good platform. He had the DSA behind him.
Yeah, I think that's the key right there, the DSA.
And, I honestly believe that the Democratic Party was okay with putting him in front as a focus, because if you look at that election, all across the board, a lot of centrist, corporate, couple of CIA people, Democrats also got elected.
Oh God, yeah.
Same time. They held up the SNAP benefits. They took food out of people's mouths so they could win an election.
Right.
That's who they are.
And again, I've got nothing positive about Mamdani, because you can say anything you want in a campaign. You could say anything, the most beautiful, wonderful things. If you signed up to do that in the genocide party, I got a problem with that. If he had run as an independent, he wouldn't have DSA behind him. I mean, he wouldn't have all those volunteers, a lot of folks who get paid also. And so I just see it as the train, the Democratic Party train, from Obama to Bernie to AOC to Mamdani. It's just a train, and they come in and people get all excited and they decide there's hope in the Democratic Party, and they waste about people's 5 to 8 years. And it's going to be the same outcome with Mamdani.
And the system continues to get worse.
It does.
And we have to realize there's no hero going to save us. We must do our own work. We must save ourselves. We must educate ourselves, do critical thinking, join the party, donate to the party, volunteer for the Green Party, run for office.
And recognize what it is. It's a propaganda campaign. Mamdani is a propaganda campaign, folks. Wake up, because that's what that is. He's beautiful. He's wonderful, right? But from day one, he's sold
and
out.
I'm hoping that New York City will hold him accountable for everything, because he's right there. He's the mayor. They got access. So yeah.
I would hope. I'm hoping we're wrong. I would love to see him actually be a progressive and do progressive things. That'd be fantastic. But I'm with you, Scott. It's yet to be seen, right? Everything we're seeing right now is he's in the Oval Office with the president. Like it's not looking good right now.
if you endorse Hakeem Jeffries, it's over.
That's not good.
It's over.
Yeah.
I am surprised at how blatant they will sell out in a second. That's the weird thing. And I get it. I understand. Bernie betrayed people. AOC betrayed people. She voted for the missiles to protect genociders, and people still think she's the greatest. And wow, she might run for president. So I get it. The brainwashing works, and they'll hold, as long as they got that person, they'll hold on to them. So he could sell out 1 million times and they'll still just cling. So, but that's the power of that train. Let's see the receipts. Age 35.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the thing that was the red flag for me was keeping the same police commissioner that is a Zionist. I'm just like, and part of me, understands the logic of thinking, oh, he has to work with these people, but do you really? You won overwhelmingly.
Right.
The people of New York are with you. You could say, I'm no longer a Democrat today and become an independent. You've already won the election. You could do whatever you wanted. But we're just not seeing that. But I don't want to give him any more press,
right.
to be honest.
Right.
That's New York's issue. And here in the Illinois Green Party and nationwide, I think this is our opportunity. I mean, Butch is running a great campaign in California. Andy Ellis is running one in Maryland, right?
Yes.
And we have more and more people coming on all the time. A couple of surprises are coming our way.
Yeah, some pretty big names. We keep hearing it. So we think it's happening. Yep.
Yeah. So Green Party does not go away. And, we're building our bench now. So look out in 2028.
Yeah. No, things are they really are looking up because of folks like you, Jacob, because people are coming on board and with the right ideas, the right concepts and get it. They get this propaganda machine that we all live under with our politicians and our media and, are able to, escape from that and realize that that we can actually build something ourselves and make absolute change. We absolutely can.
I just wanted to say one thing that has really been just, I don't even know the words, grinding my gears, I guess, is, this Democratic governor rhetoric against ICE without lifting a finger to do anything about it.
No.
The ACLU is fighting harder than Governor Pritzker and Governor Newsom.
Right.
People are being picked up and kidnapped off the streets. There's evidence that they are not getting food. They are so crowded they can't even sit or lay down.
And Pritzker's state police attacked the protesters. We had 2 folks there that witnessed it. He said it was a police riot. They just decided to descend on those folks in Broadview. So that's Pritzker's police. He talks a good game, but
Democratic Party is a virus in our nation.
We got a vaccine here.
It's a Green Party vaccine.
Get the jab.
No side effects, except for a clean conscience. You're just like, that felt really good.
Oh, it's funny. Get the jab. They had to use the term jab because you said another word and they would censor it all. I mean, that was the beginning of that huge censorship campaign. Woof. I'll tell you, we got a lot to fight on.
Crazy times.
Crazy. The jab.
So you're also proud union and a social worker. And that is the kind of people that we need for that experience to be in the Green Party. So we can I mean, the party is who shows up, but we don't have like a set thing. It is who does the work, who shows up, and as long as you are in line with our platform, you are in. I like to call it the
And if you want
DIY
to
party. You see it, you do it yourself.
right. And if you feel so inclined, you can get involved as a member. You can donate, whatever you can afford. Obviously, there's a amount that we would, as members would like for people to donate on a monthly amount. But when you think back, I'm not trying to get publicity and press to people like Bernie again. But when you go back and look at his movement, it was people powered movement. His campaign was funded from small donations from people. And that is how the Green Party operates. That's how we get by. The same model that Bernie Sanders had to fund his campaign is how we get by too. Is through donations. So.
Yep.
If it was a small amount, if whatever you could afford, that's how a populist movement can gain traction, can get the funding it needs to put candidates on the ballot, organize events and continue to do the work that the Green Party does. Yeah. I think you guys are talking about a show coming up soon.
Yes.
That sounds pretty exciting. So
that segue. Yes, Tuesday, Giving Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Edie and I are going to do our reenactment of the Jerry Lewis telethon. In a way, we're going to try. So we're just going to raise money and for the Illinois Green Party, and we're just going to see how late we can go into the night. We're going to we're going to have a board to show the numbers that are coming in, and we're going to be having people call on their landlines, and we're going to answer them on landlines
or cell phones.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
We're going to have rows of people holding the phones, if you're old enough, you folks remember that stuff with the Jerry Lewis telethon.
And if you're not, it's retro, and it was a whole big thing. I think he did it over Labor Day weekend. Jerry Lewis, the famous Jerry Lewis, did a telethon for muscular dystrophy. They had people that came on and performed and told jokes and sang and and it went on and on and on. They raised as much money as they could, and I kind of see that our society is sick right now. Like we need to raise money to get us well.
There you go.
So Green Party has a cure. We just need the money and the people to get the job done. So we'll be doing it Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. I've got a guest coming in, and we're gonna have a
lot of folks. No, we got a lot of folks. We're putting that together this week, but we'll have a lot of people checking in and performances and it'll be on YouTube, Twitter X, and Facebook Live. So folks, look for that in the
same place.
You found our show, if you found
Green
our show,
Livestream.
you can find us,
And I put the donation link in the chat. I will do Bernie Sanders one better. I'm only asking for $26.
There you go. Well, he asked for what, 38, I think it was. So you're asking for 26.
$27.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh, he asked for 27. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Our average donation is $27.
Oh, that's what it was.
So let's make our average donation $26 or more. Or less if you can. But make it a monthly
or less.
We need the infrastructure to be able to help our candidates and to just do the work. I mean, StreamYard is not free. Our email platform is not free. It costs money. Although Green Party is very frugal. We do a lot with a little bit. So
that's for
we're not gonna raise $1 billion and still lose. If we had $1 million, I think we could do amazing things. Mark says Green Party is the only vaccine for our nation.
That's right. Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely. Thank you.
So, and if you're just watching, you can scan the QR up there and donate. So thanks for that segue.
And I just want to say that if you're not able to financially be involved, you still have democratic power. You can still get involved with the Green Party. You can still have a voice. You can still, have candidates who fight for you, fight for the working class, the lower class, middle class, against the billionaires and the oligarchs who have taken our government from us. You can still be involved with, even if you don't have the money to donate, just get involved with the Green Party. It is the home of leftist thinkers and policymakers. So I want to say say that out there too, because I know there's a lot of people out there that might not be, especially right now. Times is tough, times is tough. It costs, everything's going up. People are struggling financially. So, if you can't even afford it, don't feel like you're excluded from being involved with the Green Party. You are definitely welcome.
I would highly recommend anyone just go to just look on the web at the website of the state party that you're in. Whatever state you're in, go and find the Green Party for that state. If you're in Illinois, you can always come check us out Thursday nights. We won't be doing it Thanksgiving, but Thursday nights at 8:00 p.m. Central Time. We just have a Zoom hangout, so anybody can come in. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be. You could just come and say hi and just check us out. Edie and I are always there, just hanging out. I mean, sometimes we got real serious strategies we're trying to work on, and you can hear those too. But it's just a friendly place to come and check us out.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, was it last week that we had Sheldon come that he gave us really good pointers on petitioning. So in order for us to be on the ballot in 2026, we have to get lots and lots of signatures. Ballot access is no joke.
It's rough.
He gave us some incredible strategies. I've never heard of anybody that got 7,000 signatures before, but he did. And he also had a buddy that got about the same amount. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit and listen and take notes. Because I thought I did good by getting like, I think I got 370 or something last time I petitioned. So.
And actually, folks, that is probably the best way that you can help us out right now is if you kind of make a pledge to yourself to help us petition. It's going to be end of February to end of May. So 3 months. And so you can find that if you want to sign up. It's right on the front page of the Illinois Green Party website. So ilgp.org. And there's a campaign right there that you can just click on and you can fill out your information and let us know, because we are going to have teams all over the state. We're putting those together. And so no matter where you live, we can find other people if you want to petition with others, because sometimes it can be a little difficult doing it by yourself. Some folks like to do it by themselves, but that would be a wonderful way to help the Illinois Green Party. I'm telling you, that's the best way, because it's a rough goal. We have to get 25,000 signatures. The Democratic Party always takes us to court. So realistically, we need about 50,000. So yeah, we need folks out there just getting signatures for us to help us get on the ballot, because that's how we will make change. We got to get there first.
I just want to say that I want to add to that, Scott, for all the people that are watching in the state of Illinois. What is it for a Democrat and a Republican to get on the ballot? If it's that much, it's what, about 500 votes for Republicans, about 700 votes.
Depends on the office. Most of the time, it's 1,000 or less.
1,000 or less, and us it's around 20,000.
So I just want to point that out to all Illinois voters that the Democrats who have been in control of our state for a long period of time have not only gerrymandered our state, so bad that we're in the same district as people in Champaign or Bonn on the other side of the state, but they've also created ballot access that limits this part of the Green Party and other parties, any other party, from being on the ballot. They're trying to limit democracy and limit your choices, limit the voice of the people. They do that by requiring us to have 20,000 signatures to their 1,000. We are required to have 20 times the amount. And as Scott said, it's probably going to be double that, because they're going to try to take us to court and fight us and obstruct us the whole way. Even though we got the 20,000, we're going to have to aim for 40, because they're going to try to get that many thrown off. So not only do we have these ridiculous signature requirements, but they're going to fight us every step of the way. Every single step, they're going to fight every aspect of what we're trying to do.
Right.
Why would they be so afraid of democracy?
Right.
Yeah.
They have orchestrated a system that keeps the competition out.
Yep.
They don't want any competition.
Right.
And we see that at the national level too. They don't let the Green Party candidates debate on the presidential stage, but it's even all the way down to the state level and the local level. It's the same thing. It's across the board. They're trying to limit and suppress us. They obstruct us. They interfere with us as much as they possibly can. And there's a reason for that. They don't want you to recognize that the things that you go out and vote for, whenever you vote for Bernie Sanders, or whenever you voted for whoever Democrat you love, who's that progressive, is going to change the party for you. They don't want you realizing there's a whole party of people out there that are just like you, that are voting in the Green Party, and there's a party for you. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to think that you have democratic power and the ability to vote for change.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They want you to vote out of fear for the lesser evil. They want you to vote for the person who is not as scary as the other boogeyman. And there's
Yep.
always going to be a boogeyman. There's
Yep.
always going to be a boogeyman. It started with G.W. Bush when I was coming of age at 18 years old. He was the boogeyman. He was bad in his own right, but every year, every election, it's always been there's a new boogeyman, there's a new person. And since Trump has come along, he has been the best boogeyman the system could ever hope for.
Oh.
He is so awful.
Well
He is so
deserved.
awful that everyone is terrified of him.
Right.
So terrified of him that they're willing to vote for anybody. Is a toaster. They would vote for anything if it's not Donald Trump. And that has put us in the exact situation that George Washington warned
anybody.
us about in his farewell address. Yeah, right.
We're not anybody. We're
anybody.
somebody.
Right.
Right.
I was trying to make things historical relative, but I mean, I talk about this a lot lately, is George Washington's farewell address. Our first president left office, and he kind of warned us of two political parties that would eventually result in a system of political revenge that was akin to a permanent despotism. And it's exactly where we are right now. We don't have a two-party system, but if you ask the average American voter, they would tell you we have a two-party system. The exact thing that we were warned against. The exact thing we were warned against. And so there's a reason why they don't want you to recognize there's different choices. It's just it's what we're up against is monolithic. It is David versus Goliath. We are truly fighting against five corporations that own all of the media, all of it.
Yep.
All of it. Do you think that those people are going to support a party like ours that is against that's not against, but wants to hold, wants some form of economic justice, wants a tax code that's fair and equitable for working class people? They don't want that message getting out. There's a great book called Democracy in Chains. That kind of details that, what these billionaire class want is they want a dysfunctional democracy. They want a government that doesn't work.
Yep.
And so that's why they spend so much money on both sides of the aisle to make a dysfunctional government.
Mm-hmm.
And until we divest from that duopoly, from that system, and recognize that we can be the change that we want to see in the world, we're never going to know that change until we get there. It doesn't matter if it's 50 years from now, 100 years from now. That is the answer. When we're going to wake up and realize that's the answer, I don't know. I hope it's in my lifetime. I really do. But I'm going to devote the rest of my life to politically trying to open people's eyes to that political reality, to our political reality.
Right.
That like Edie, like you said earlier, right? Nobody's going to come save us. We're not. That's what I've watched the Democratic Party. Why I think they can't connect with voters. Why they lose election after election for numerous reasons. But I think one of them is that they just try to present themselves as the savior. They're there to save everybody from the other boogeyman.
Right.
They don't offer a clear vision. They don't offer things that people want. They just offer to not be that guy.
Right.
And we deserve better.
And it's shallow and it's empty.
Especially
right.
When they get into power, that's when they show their true colors. Suddenly they can't get anything done. I mean, it's amazing. They've got two Democrats who won't vote that way. And then they have the parliamentarian shows up on a day and can't get the minimum wage through. Right. I mean, that's when they are really exposed. I mean, what progress did we make under Obama? And that was a super majority, folks. He could have done anything. They could have codified Roe v. Wade. They could have created a universal healthcare system. Yep. They could have made all public universities tuition free. They could have done any of those things. Any of them.
They could have done card check for unions. I remember that too. That was during Obama.
Yep.
If they wanted to, they would have. They didn't want to.
And we now know in hindsight the details of that. Like, not only did they not want to, like, they actively opposed it internally. They were like, no, that's too radical. Again, taking back to my conversation about us being the abolitionists, right? What we're promoting is just too extreme. It's just there's not the votes for it. Well, there clearly is. And I don't trust polls really as far as I can throw them, but every major poll out there shows, even meta polling shows, that these things that we're talking about are the policies people want. People want a functional healthcare system. We spend more money on our healthcare system more than any other country in the world, and we don't have great healthcare.
No.
It's a leading cause of personal bankruptcy. Like, it's a flawed system. We need a government that, it's clearly states in our Constitution, the role of our government is to provide for the common defense and the general welfare of our people.
Right.
We do really well with the common defense thing. We kind of go overboard on that. We kind of just abandon everything when it comes to general welfare. General welfare, if you look that up, what is a general welfare? What is that? That's our health. That's our happiness.
Right.
We deserve to have clean air and clean water. We deserve to have, we deserve these things, right? We deserve to have the things that every human being should have. And when we look around the rest of the world and we see that these other countries have figured it out, they figured out how to create a universal single payer system that covers everybody and is affordable. It doesn't cost as much money. They figured it out. Why are we stuck in this paralysis, not understanding that there are other solutions, and we need all of these things, and this Green Party is the place for y'all. Like, this is how we can make these things happen.
And if they would pay attention, they would see that Democrats and Republicans alike spend all of our money on bombs to other countries. Yes. That's what they spend all of our money on. It's
military bases around the world. Yeah.
And tax cuts for the rich.
Yep.
And tax cuts for the rich. Of that too. And not holding anyone accountable, because that's the reason that Trump gets by with everything, is because they set him up. Right. Because in order to hold him accountable, they would have had to out themselves.
Right.
Right. I think that's another thing too is AI right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just going to say that, like, another example would be how, when it was the Trump 1 administration, then it was, get rid of ICE, destroy ICE. And now that's not what happened when Biden came in. They increased the funding for ICE. So
and Black Lives Matter, more funding for police. Like, everything that we push on, the Democrats quietly fund it more.
Right.
Yeah. And Mark says he should be in office already.
Yeah.
He's already convinced that you're good to go.
Someday, yes, Jacob. Someday you got to run for office.
So I don't know if you know who Mark is, but he was instrumental in the Jill Stein campaign.
Yes,
he's working on the Arab and Muslim caucus and probably a million other things that I have no idea about. But he's a genuinely wonderful person. Yes. I got to meet him in person, and I was just we were just on a Zoom with him.
Yeah.
He cares about changing the party, or changing the system. He cares about who runs in the states. He wants the Green Party to succeed and win.
Yep.
So with somebody like that in your corner, the wind is at our back.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
So anything that you wanted to close with? I mean, this has been great. We didn't have to do most of the talking. You just,
I know, right?
I love that. Hey, I can talk forever. The only last thing I want to talk about was it was just a final statement about AI. I think AI is the most serious threat to all of us working class people. I think there's a great video that's about 12 years old called Humans Need Not Apply. It talks about how automation was already here 12 years ago. And if we look at where we're at now, every billionaire is in a race to create the Megatron AI.
Right.
The ultimate AI that will pretty much own the world economy. It's what they're trying to do. Our entire economy right now is being propped up by basically this AI bubble. It's well documented. Everybody's talking about it. It's 3 companies working together to prop up Wall Street right now. All the billionaires, all their investments are going towards basically systems that they hope will replace us and our jobs and create a system that I think feudal lords would have only dreamt of to control populations of people. So I'm not, I just really feel like we're in a gilded age where the regulation isn't there for AI. They've just passed legislation that says we can't do that for the next 10 years. I think that's intentional. These billionaires know what they're doing. Yep. We're in a class war, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And there's a reason why billionaires are investing in that AI. Right. We as people need to be aware of what's happening, the change, the shift that's happening in our world. When this ultimate AI it comes out, even the AI as it is right now is changing our world, I think almost as much, if not more, than the internet has changed our civilization. And I think that we need to be aware of that and acknowledge that. And politically, there needs to be a political response to that. And I think the Green Party has been the only party I've seen really speaking about this reality of AI, the cost of water and energy, what the environmental toll it's taking, and as well as just in general, the purpose of this investment in AI. And I know we're running out of time, and that's a whole conversation, but like, I just really wanted to put that out there and let people be aware, like, learn more about what's going on there, and follow politicians. You'll see a lot of Green Party politicians talk about it that are willing to speak about this AI, that are aware of what's going on out there, that are going to advocate for working class people. It's just like, you can't stop it. Just like the automobile replacing the horse. Like, technology is going to happen. We have to embrace it, and that's a great thing. But our economic systems, our industrial systems should work for people. It should work for us. We don't work as cogs in a machine for them. They need to be working for us. So I just want to leave that as my final thought, is that let's have a people-powered movement. Let's have a revolution, a political, peaceful revolution here in the state of Illinois. And throughout the country and throughout the world, let's have a green revolution. Let's change things through political action, through populist movements, through small money donations, and through all the things that the Green Party stands for. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys tremendously for having me on.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jacob. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you for helping the Green Party already. You've been helping us tremendously. And yeah, I mean, we look forward to working with you more, Jacob, and getting that Madison County Green chapter going. So absolutely. Thank you so much, Jacob.
You only need 3 people to start a chapter anywhere in the state.
Yes, anywhere, folks. Again,
Just
come into the Thursday night Zoom if you want to talk about your interest in starting a chapter. There's also that on the website, ilgp.org. There's a place where you can say you're interested in starting a chapter. So, yeah.
And, if you don't see it,
So get involved.
Yes.
So, Mama approves. Mama approves.
Oh, whew. Right. Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you on the show, and I am also looking very much
Thank you
forward
all
to
so
working
much.
with you.
Yeah.
And tune in on Saturday for our news of the week. And then Tuesday
night,
we will be doing old school telethon, marathon, raising money for the Illinois Green Party, and so we can kick off 2026 in style, baby.
It'll be a fun night. Come check us out, like at midnight, at 1 a.m. See if we're still going.
See if I'm sleeping.
We're not going to do Derry Lewis. So how many hours did he do? It was like,
I have no idea. Well, it was Labor Day weekend, though. This is kind of,
you know. But I just mean in terms of his stamina. That was the big thing. He went on for.
Oh yeah, and at the end of the night, he'd be sitting on the edge of the stage, singing into the microphone.
No, it was great. Oh God, it was the good old days.
I mean, it was part of my childhood. We always stayed up and watched it. So.
Oh God, yeah.
And for those who aren't familiar, go check out some clips. You'll see what we mean.
Yeah,
it's kind of a fun throwback. Yeah. So, all right, everybody.
Thanks so much for coming in and checking us out.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we will see you on Saturday.
All right.
Take care.
Bye. All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
An uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising. Fight the power.